Hi everyone. I wanted to take a moment to pop on a video to explain a few things and remind you about where you can find a few pieces of information in the class. You know, with the snow day, it kind of has thrown everyone off, and I do apologize so much for not being able to answer all of your emails and messages. I just had to attend to my two young children who don't quite understand that I have other things to do besides them. So I do apologize if you sent me something and I have not yet responded. I am just getting to it now, and you should get a message from me this evening if you haven't heard from me already. So a few things, lots of confusion I've heard about the pre-lecture prep that I mentioned in the last announcement that I made, and also about the reading assignment. So the first thing that I wanted to remind you all of is the syllabus contains all of the reading assignments, very much like all of the other classes that you have likely been in and had syllabus for. So you can find the syllabus in the Begin Here module. It's here. And actually, it's a live link. So anytime I make updates, it automatically updates. So the version that you have access to is the actual most up to date, recent live version. I went ahead and if you scroll down to the bottom where the schedule is, took some time to update the weeks and include the snow day here so that you can see how our schedule is going to be adjusted to accommodate all of the content. If you look here, like I mentioned, the very first week of class, and hopefully you saw this when we were doing that syllabus scavenger hunt. All of the readings that you need to do are linked into the schedule here, because if you remember, the textbook is available for free through the libraries. So hyperlinked right here, I can click control and open the chapter. You have to log in with your Access ID. But so that's there. I'm probably not going to remind you every time we have a reading assignment, because it's your responsibility as a student to pay attention to the syllabus and keep track of what we're talking about, what your responsibilities are to come prepared to class. So that's where you'll be able to find all of the reading assignments. I showed you that I updated the syllabus, so I wanted to also draw your attention to the fact that I did update the modules and the weeks that the modules are labeled with so that it matches directly with the syllabus, so there's no confusion there. So you'll notice here, we do not have a week 4 module anymore because week 4 was a snow day, so I moved everything back. So week 5 will publish when it's supposed to, next Wednesday at 3:30 when class starts. The only thing that you're going to have to do between now and then is that pre-lecture prep that I asked you to do to prepare for class on next Wednesday. So because there's so many questions, I wanted to go back into the lecture PowerPoint and just do a quick refresher about what we talked about. If you guys are anything like me, you're kind of being pulled in all directions and you've got a lot of things going on. So a refresher can be good for everyone. So if you remember last week, we talked a little bit about books and notes, and I introduced the idea of the study cycle, which is a 3-part approach to your coursework, your classes, being prepared, making sure that you have understanding of the content that's taught. And we focused last week on the first 2 steps of that cycle, the pre-lecture prep and the active learning portion of it. Pre-lecture prep is when you set aside time prior to the class meeting that you're preparing for to get to know what's coming. This might mean that you do a complete, an assigned reading. It might mean that you print out the PowerPoint that the instructor has posted and you go through and you look for key terms that you don't know and you find those definitions. Remember, we talked a lot about the power of context and using context and patterns to allow us to really understand the textbook that we're using or the assigned reading that we're using, so that we become a confident and quick reader, so that we're not reading every single word by word and able to get through a lot of information in a shorter amount of time. So when we got to the end of the PowerPoint, I asked you to come up with whatever way it is that you're going to prepare for next week's lecture. There is a reading assignment, like you saw in the syllabus. It's chapter 6 in the Science of New Learning. So I want you to use the techniques that we talked about in this lecture last week, right? Going through the reading, looking for subtitles or headings and things like that to prepare for next week's lecture, which will be on the brain science behind the A's. I haven't luckily we had a snow day, so I haven't fully finalized everything yet, but it's likely that this will be half of your participation point. So you should come with it prepared. Um, if you have questions, please, please, please come to me. I'm the one with the assignment. That I'm the one that's teaching the class. I'm the one who's giving you the directions. If you guys all talk to one another and don't ask for direct help from me, if you all get it wrong, then there's nothing I can do to help you because you didn't come to me for clarification. So if anyone has a question, do not feel free to send me a message whenever. Just because I don't respond right away doesn't mean I don't see it. I have to, maintain balance in the way that I'm accomplishing all of the tasks that I'm responsible for. But I'm absolutely happy to help you and answer any questions that you have. So keep that in mind if you do have any questions about anything in the future. I will see you in person next week in Old Main, room 1172, which I still need to locate. So be prepared, be on time, please, which means that you're seated in whatever desk it is that you're going to sit in by the time the class starts. And again, if you have questions or anything, reach out, let me know. Okay. Have a great rest of your week. I hope that you were able to do something fun on your day off yesterday or use it to get caught up, whatever it is. I hope it was a good day for you. All right. See you next week.